Alright, what's up everybody, it's Joseph here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video to my Stock IS300 challenge video because not only did a good bit of you seem to enjoy it, but there were actually some of you who suggested strategies for me to help beat the races I couldn't beat before. If you've already watched the first part of the video, you should know it's possible to beat pretty much every Blacklist rival except for JV, and if you haven't watched the first video, click off of this right now and go watch that. What are you doing here? But anyways, in this part of the video, we're going to be focusing on JV himself, his required photo ticket, Earl's photo ticket, and the prerequisite races for the final 3 bosses. Now with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Starting with Earl's photo ticket, and even though this did take a little time and rethinking, I eventually did get it done. Having patience is something I'm still trying to work on, so bear with me here. Moving on to JV's photo ticket, all of which require you to have a pretty fast car. But some of you suggested using the out of bounds glitch that I used to complete the final pursuit to also complete JV's photo ticket. And I gotta say, this worked out really well. And I know there's probably some of you out there who frown upon the use of glitches, but as long as I'm following the rule of using the stock IS300, in my opinion, I don't really see a problem. Now it was time to try JV's drag race again, which was the first impossible race of the last playthrough. But first of all, I want to give a major shout out to a most wanted speedrunner by the name of Shori for trying to give me some help with not only this race, but the overall run as well. Anyways, he showed me a clip from one of his streams where, ironically he was doing the same challenge, where some kind of glitch caused JV to suddenly swerve into the semi-truck and total his car, allowing Shuri to take the win. But after close to 70 tries, yes, I did count, I just wasn't able to replicate this glitch. I was still stuck. One of you even suggested that I wait at the starting line until somehow JV totals his car, but again after another 20 something tries, I just couldn't get this to work. So while in theory it is possible to beat him somehow, I just couldn't make it happen. So again, I'm gonna have to call it quits on this race for now. But what about his other speed trap race? Since I couldn't even get past the drag race, I haven't even been able to try this last race with this car. But with the use of a trainer, I cheated my way past the drag race and was finally able to give it a try. Of course, without the trainer this time. And surprisingly, this race was even easier than the first one. I got through it on my first try. So the last time I played Ronnie's chapter, I managed to get 7 out of the 8 races done, but after that my car was too slow to do any of the available options, so I had to have the Lamborghini take over. But after some tries and again a healthy amount of luck, I was actually able to beat this sprint race that I couldn't beat last time, which means Ronnie's chapter is now 100% doable using the stock IS300. And now it's time for me to be 100% honest with you guys. I did not use the stock IS300 to complete any of the prerequisite races for Bull or Razor. I know, I'm sorry, but I figured since after JV I already failed the challenge anyway, and I needed to speed things along, so I used the Lamborghini to complete both Bull and Razor's pre-required races. But that's gonna change in this video. Starting off with Bull's prerequisite races, which were a major freaking headache because of these 2 speed trap races. But after exercising a little patience, I managed to get them all done. And in case you thought Bull's prerequisites were bad enough, Razors were a different type of nightmare completely, but not for the reason you may think. So the other 8 races, again while time consuming, were no big deal for me in my opinion. However, again according to Shori, this Tollbooth race is supposed to be possible in the IS300, but try as I may, I just couldn't beat it. This race has officially become the bane of my existence, and the main reason for this is the super precise usage of speed breaker over small bumps to keep the car flush with the ground to minimize speed loss. No matter what I tried, I just couldn't get the feel for it. Not only that, but oftentimes it seems like the traffic placement or the cop placement would go out of its way to screw me over. But I'm sure this can somehow be chalked up to having skill issues. So again, like with JV's drag race, this was another race that was possible in theory, but I just couldn't pull it off myself. Now for a little bonus round, and before we get into this part of the video, I just wanted to say that if I don't sound like myself, I am a little bit under the weather at the time of recording this, so I apologize for that. But for this part, I'm going to try and beat Razor's 3rd race without using the super shortcut glitch, and I'm also going to be trying to take on the final pursuit using a glitch that allows me to use the stock IS300 for it. Because why not? Also, we've already established that Razor can't drive in the first part of this challenge, but crashing on the first try on the drag race again is crazy. But anyways, the third race, which I did get on my first try without using the glitch, partially thanks to Speed Breaker, and mostly due to Razor's monumental failure as a racing driver. So now time for the final pursuit, and since I want to keep the use of glitches to a minimum on this playthrough, I'm gonna forbid myself from using the out of level glitch and the bus station glitch. And in all honesty, it wasn't that bad. I actually got it done on my first try, mainly because I was following the strategy of just staying on the highway and surviving the 5 minutes rather than actively engaging the cops. So I guess that's gonna be it for today. Can it be done? Theoretically, yes, but can I seem to pull it off? Given how specific the requirements are, no. So I guess for now we can call it a... But anyways, if you enjoyed round 2 of Masochism the video game, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. But until then, that's gonna be it from me. See ya.